So,
oh,
is it monogamy?
monogamy?
When you have sex with just one person all of
Yes.
your life?
Yeah.
Do men really believe in being
Monogamy.
monogamous?
Hmm.
Or are they just saying that they do just to keep their wives happy or partners happy?
As in, do they say they're monogamous but they're not, and they just say that to keep their wives happy, or do they just do it to keep the wives happy?
Do they just do it to keep their wives happy? Or partners? Tricky one.
Yeah. There's exceptions to every rule, but short answer is yes. If, to be real, very real here, most guys, if they could, they would have sex with different attractive women and indulge in that.
Yeah.
Not all men all of the time, but most men at least some of the time. So that's not saying he wants to be having sex with different girls all the time, but if he's in a long-term relationship for X amount of years, 20, 30 years or whatever, of course, there are going to be times where he's like, I would just have sex with other women. And it's not because he doesn't love his wife.
No.
It's not because he's not in love with her or whatever, but it is an innate desire in men to seek sexual variety. And being monogamous is often a sacrifice for something. So it could be a sacrifice for the relationship. It could be a sacrifice for a family. It could be a sacrifice for the business, whatever it is, right? A lot of the time it is a sacrifice that men make for something bigger in his eyes. Because, especially nowadays, because most men struggle, right? Most men don't get dates. They're not dating, like a third of men under the age of 30 haven't had sex in the past year. All of this stuff.
Okay. Why?
Why haven't they had sex?
Yeah, why?
Because they don't meet women's standards. It's the truth.
Oh, okay.
Because the standards for women have raised over the past few decades, significantly so. So, like for example, we hear all the time a list. It must be 6 foot, good looking,
Oh, so
good
they've got
body.
a little checklist.
Say again.
They've got a little checklist.
Do your single friends not have a checklist?
Yeah. They're very specific as well.
Exactly. They're very specific. Very specific. And most men don't meet that criteria.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, for example, let's say a woman says she wants a guy who is good looking and above 6 foot.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know how many men are 6 foot and above?
Not many.
It's about 18% of men. Right? It's less than 20% of men. So if you say, I want a guy who's 6 foot and above, purely on that metric,
yeah,
right? You've eliminated over 80% of men. You don't even know if he's age appropriate. You don't even know if he's straight. You don't know if he's, single. You don't even know what color, creed, race, or whatever it is. You don't know what culture, religion, anything. You haven't applied any of those metrics. That's not even to say whether he's kind, generous, whether he's toxic, manipulative. Purely from a height metric, which is a standard that a lot of women have, you've eliminated 80% of men. And then, let's say he's handsome. If we be generous and say that 50% of men are handsome, you've gone from 18% to less than 10% of men, purely on those two metrics. You haven't even applied anything else.
Poor guys.
So most guys don't meet those requirements, right? To be above 6 foot, good looking, good shape, good financial career, all of this stuff, doing well for himself. So most men really struggle. But then what happens is there is a very small percentage of men who get all of the opportunity with women, right? Who are dating and having sex with the majority of women who are out there looking for something. And those men are not going to be monogamous until they settle down, because they don't have to be.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And even with these guys, and this is happening more, it's funny because we're actually becoming a more polyamorous society, and we don't
polyamorous being,
or polygynous rather,
like wanting to have sex with lots of people.
So when I say polygynous, as in people sharing partners, and it's funny because I think I want to say CBS. I'm getting the whoever the study is, I'll find out. But there's a study that showed that a third of men reported being in a relationship, and 2/3 of women reported being in a relationship. And there are more women than men in the population. So that means there are multiple women who believe they are in a relationship with the same man.
Oh.
So we're actually becoming a very polygynous society already.
Mm.
So when you're saying about do men believe in monogamy, if most guys could be in that top percent, most guys would be.
Yeah.
Right? And they would be indulging in all the sexual variety that they want. The time that that guy says that he's going to be monogamous to a woman is usually when he's going to be like, okay, this is worth it because I want to start a family with her. And if I'm going to be having kids, taking responsibility, I can't be out here in these streets just hooking up with different girls left, right, and center.
Of course.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But after the kids, maybe we'd want to do it. Maybe you would.
Well, yeah, because once the kids are grown up, then
Right.
you're back to just being you two again, right?
But exactly.
And that's when most people split up.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if people have been together for an extended period of time, they start to open things up. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it does make sense.
Anything surprise you?
Has it surprised me? It
Yeah.
surprised me about the how actually it hasn't surprised me, but you've brought it to light that women do have a checklist and eliminate a lot of men. When there's millions of men,
Yeah.
go and play with all these men.
Yeah.
Give them a
100%.
chance.
It's true.
And then not just by their physical, like you said, metrics,
Yeah.
actually get to know their like,
It's like, are they kind?
Yeah.
Generous with their time.
go and have a look at what their qualities are rather than their like
Yeah.
physical characteristics.
But then I think what happens is, because like your friends who are single, how old are they, if you don't mind me asking? In their 30s?
In their 20s.
They're in their 20s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Late 20s.
Okay,
Well,
fair.
actually, one of them's 30. Yeah, late 20s.
Late 20s to 30s?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what happens is, because women have an abundance of options now, right? Because of social media,
Yeah.
dating apps. Like an attractive girl goes in a dating app, within a day she'll have 100 more so matches.
Yeah.
Right? There's such an overwhelming level of abundance, which is why they can feel they can be so picky. Right? But the mistake that they make is they think that out of those 100 matches, they think every single match is looking at them for a relationship. And they're not.
No.
And in fact, the more desirable a guy is, the less likely he's actually looking for a relationship,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
you know, in that pool.
Yeah.
And so they'll choose guys and things that work out like, he's a fuck boy, he's a narcissist, all of this stuff, right? It's just guys, look, to put it plainly, he was just looking to have some fun a lot of the time, right? He's a narcissist because he doesn't want to commit to you,
Yeah.
right? Which doesn't make him a narcissist. It just means he doesn't want to give you what you want. He just wants to do what he wants. And we're all human beings. We're self-serving by design.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, you know, he's trash because you found out he slept with someone else, so he's been talking to other women, but, you know, he never said he was exclusive to you. So as a guy, I'm like, what do you expect? Like, if he didn't say he's exclusive, like, he's going to be doing that.
Yeah.
So then they get these really high standards because they're kind of used to dealing with a certain caliber of guy who isn't giving them the level of treatment and investment that they want. But then they start looking for a unicorn, which is a guy who meets all this criteria, but he's only gonna commit to you and he's only gonna be involved with you. And it's not that you're his wife. It's not that you have kids with him. Like, just because of what you want or, you know, in your head, he's just going to be you. And the truth is, for most, that's not the case. Now, you
Yeah.
can get to that point where he just chooses you. And that's a conversation that you have. But this isn't a romantic film where you just meet a guy and everything just falls into place straight away like that.
No.
You just get the top guy and suddenly he's like, you're the one I've been looking for forever. It's not real life.
It doesn't work like that. I actually spoke to my husband about dating. Like, it's a horrible subject, but I went to a funeral not long ago and one of the girl died and left her husband behind. And he's like similar age to me. And it really hit home because I was a bit like, if anything happened to my husband, how would I deal with going back into the dating world? Like, and we've had the conversation together. Like, I would want him to be happy. He would want me to be happy.
Yes.
After a period of time, grieve or do whatever you need to do. But I would want him to find somebody else and get back onto the whole dating thing.
Yes.
And talking about dating and putting yourself on social media scares the hell out of me. Like,
yeah.
Like,
it's a crazy world, boy.
It's
crazy landscape right
you
now.
put your picture on and you get all these men flocking you.
Yeah.
Left, right? And you don't know who you're meeting up with. It's completely changed to when I was dating 15 odd years ago.
Yeah.
Where I would go out and talk to people in wherever I was, at a club, bar, gym.
Yes.
Now, people don't tend to do that.
Everyone's on this.
Everyone's on their phone. And you think about, there's a lot of catfishes.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know how people do it. Like, you know, when you go on a dating app, that picture you're looking at, that's giving you that first impression, that's been filtered to hell.
Edited, everything.
That's their best picture that they've ever got. So if that picture
from
isn't
5 years ago.
if that picture's no good, then the rest of them are not going to be good, and she's going to be, or she's not going to be what you want. Want to look at.
It's so true.
I don't know how I would deal with it.
I guess gratitude is the attitude for happiness, and I guess it just, you know, and I'm sorry to hear about that with your friend who passed. But I guess it makes you go, wow, what I've got is amazing, and I'm going to appreciate every day. That's
why when my husband gets up at 4 a.m, I'm like, you go do your
thing. You go do your thing, babe.
Yeah.
I'll be here when you get back.
And that's it.
I love that.
Because you don't know how long you're going to be here for. So 100%. Every day it's okay.
Yeah, I get that.
Because them days when he's not there, when I wake up, I'm gonna be sad.
Yeah, of course.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.